Welcome to 5-Minute Bedtime Stories, brought to you by TaleBot, your child's AI storyteller. Want to create a bedtime story for your child? Visit talebotai.com/create. Now, let's sit back and enjoy the story.
Zaria's courageous quest to conquer the dragon's lair. A special bedtime story for Zaria. Once upon a time, in a cozy little village nestled in a green valley, lived a brave and imaginative girl named Zaria. She had curly black hair that bounced with her every step, and her bright eyes were always sparkling with curiosity. Zaria loved exploring the world around her, but there was one thing that made her heart quiver: she was scared of dragons. Every night, as the moon rose high in the sky, Zaria would curl up under her soft, warm blankets. But as soon as the lights went out, her thoughts would swirl with tales of fierce dragons lurking in the darkness. The shadows on her bedroom walls seemed to transform into scaly monsters breathing fire. Zaria's parents tried their best to reassure her, but her fears seemed to grow stronger with each passing night. Little did Zaria know that her fears were about to take her on a wondrous journey of self-empowerment. One sunny afternoon, while wandering through her grandfather's dusty attic, Zaria stumbled upon an old, leather-bound book. Its pages were yellowed with age, and the cover depicted a fierce dragon guarding a majestic castle. Intrigued, she blew off the dust and slowly opened it. The book told the tale of a young boy prince named Mikey, who volunteered to protect his kingless kingdom from hordes of dragons. Zaria's eyes widened as she read about Mikey's bravery and his quest to conquer his own fears of the mythical creatures. The more she read, the more she began to realize that her fears might not be as big as they seemed. With newfound excitement, Zaria decided to embark on her own courageous quest. Determined to overcome her fear of dragons, she packed a small bag with her favorite snacks, a flashlight, and the old book as a guide. As the sun set, casting an orange glow over the village, Zaria slipped out of her house and ventured into the unknown. Through dense forests and across rolling hills, Zaria followed the path described in the book. She encountered friendly animals and helpful fairies along the way, who encouraged her to stay strong and believe in herself. The moon shone brightly, lighting her path as she ventured closer to the dragon's lair. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Zaria arrived at the foot of a towering mountain. The air was thick with anticipation, and her heart raced in her chest. She took a deep breath, summoning all her courage, and began her ascent. Step by step, Zaria climbed higher and higher, determination painting her every move. The wind whispered encouragement in her ear, and the stars twinkled like guiding beacons in the night sky. Finally, she reached the entrance of the dragon's lair. With trembling hands, Zaria pushed open the heavy door and stepped into a cavern filled with darkness. The sound of deep, rumbling breaths echoed in the distance, and her heart skipped a beat. But she knew she couldn't turn back now. Using her flashlight to guide her way, Zaria ventured deeper into the dragon's lair. As she explored, she discovered magical treasures and mysterious artifacts that sparkled in the dim light. The fear that had once gripped her began to fade, replaced by a sense of wonder and excitement. But just as Zaria thought she had conquered her fear, she heard a growl that sent shivers down her spine. She turned around to find herself face to face with a magnificent dragon, its scales glistening in the soft glow of her flashlight. The dragon's eyes held a mix of curiosity and wisdom. It spoke to Zaria in a deep, rumbling voice, telling her stories of bravery and resilience. It taught her that fears are not meant to hold us back, but to help us grow stronger. Filled with newfound courage, Zaria reached out her hand and touched the dragon's snout. It was warm and soft, and she felt a connection unlike anything she had ever experienced before. In that moment, she realized that dragons were not to be feared but to be respected and befriended. As Zaria bid farewell to her dragon friend, she left the lair with a heart full of courage and a mind brimming with possibilities. She knew that she had conquered her fear and that she could face any challenge that came her way. With a skip in her step, Zaria made her way back home, guided by the moonlight. Her parents were waiting anxiously, and when she burst through the door, they enveloped her in a warm embrace. Zaria shared tales of her incredible journey, feeling proud of her newfound bravery. From that day forward, Zaria no longer feared dragons. Instead, she admired their strength and beauty, and she vowed to be a dragon ambassador in her village, spreading the message of courage and understanding. And so, as Zaria closed her eyes that night, she whispered a heartfelt thank you to the dragon that had empowered her. With dreams of adventure and bravery, she drifted off to sleep, knowing that she was capable of conquering any fear that dared to cross her path. The end.
Thank you for joining us on this enchanting journey. If you enjoyed tonight's story, remember, the magic doesn't have to end here. Craft your own adventure with TaleBot by visiting talebotai.com/create. And as a special treat, use the coupon code TALE99 at checkout to get your bedtime story for just 99 cents, instead of the usual $2.99. Sweet dreams, and until our next tale.